Hello, Enid. I'm Derrick, the Director of Communications for the City of Enid, and with me today is Jerald Gilbert, the City Manager.
Hello, Enid. Hello, Derrick. It's
Hello.
good to be here with you today.
Yes, let's get into our weekly city management update. One of the things we want to discuss was the road closures and construction going around in Enid. We have two that we released last week, which was the close of the intersection of Quail Ridge Road and West Chestnut Avenue. That's one of them, and that's going to be closed starting today for approximately 2 weeks. And then we have another one, which will be North 25th Street, closed for a new water line installation. So
Yes, is that out by Randolph and 25th?
Yes.
Yeah, the city's doing some work in the street program on Randolph, and so the water line may have just only, well, actually it's got some connection to it because we're redoing Randolph from about 25th as well out to 30th Street, I believe, so in front of the University Center out there, Northwestern. You mentioned Quail Creek, I think Quail Creek and Chestnut?
Quail Ridge Road and West Chestnut, yes.
Quail Ridge and West Chestnut, yes, I believe there's an entrance being reworked there and some drainage being fixed there. The concrete is busted up at that intersection. It doesn't flow correctly. And you can see the flume on TV there, or on Facebook. And Chestnut, I've had some inquiries about Chestnut around 11th, between 11th and 12th, where the road is closed. What happened there is a 36-inch drainage pipe under the street is collapsing, and so the road is collapsing and heaving, and it's dangerous. So it might collapse, and so therefore we've shut it down. And although we've had it shut down for a little while now, I know for the public it looks like nothing's happening, but what's happening is engineering's taking core samples. Engineering has videoed the stormwater drainage to help us figure out what the fix is going to be, and very soon somebody will be tearing the street up there to fix the drainage. And depending on what they find out to fix it, will tell us ultimately how long it's going to take before we get it reopened. I realize it's a big inconvenience for people. I appreciate their patience. We only close it for the public's safety during this time, and we are working to get busy on that repair. Something else that wasn't, you didn't mention on the list, but is getting close to completion is the ODOT bridge on Highway 81. So they have lanes open on both sides. They're still doing some concrete work, it looks like, but it's getting very close. And so that will be a great day in Enid when that opens up, both lanes, both ways.
Yeah. We also, similar to the Chestnut, we have South 5th Street and the East Broadway intersection. Many people may not know that there is an actual bridge under that road, so you can talk about that. Efforts for that.
The drainage that flows all the way from Exchange Park into the St. Mary's parking lot, where it's an open ditch through the parking lot, is the actual drainage that runs through there. And you can see what runs under Broadway and 5th there. If you want to get an idea and visualize what's under that, you can go and look at Randolph and 5th, where the big hole is, and you'll actually see where a lot of that new concrete drainage structure is being constructed. And so it's still got a ways to go there. I realize there's a lot of inconvenience, but these drainage structures have been in Enid for a long, many decades, well over 50 plus years. And so when they're done, the streets on Randolph and then Broadway will be reconstructed on top, and it'll be a very nice improvement for everybody.
Okay. All right, let's talk about some of our community concerns. This week is the Christmas holiday, and of course today is Monday, which we close, we picked up the trash for the Friday's route. So let's talk a little bit about that. What's going on with that?
Well, the city observes the holiday, and we observe Christmas Eve as well for many employees. Now in our solid waste department, they'll still be picking up trash on Thursday. So for the best information, refer to the website or Facebook, where the latest information is on the closures. If your regular trash route is on Thursday, your trash will be picked up on Thursday. If it's on Friday, it'll be picked up on the following Monday, because our solid waste folks will observe the holiday. And so anyway, you can look on the the website to see what the closure status is for other entities you may be interested in, like the landfill, and landfill's open on Thursday, but not on Friday, and same way with the transit. Something else with Christmas, we just the city has sponsored and essentially run the Christmas in the Park at Meadow Lake. That's been a huge success. For 4 Saturdays in a row, many city employees have worked out there, dressed up as Santa Claus or an elf or the Cookie Monster, and passed some things out and offered something wonderful for people to do in town. This is about the 3rd year, I think, we've done that. And we'll keep on doing that. I appreciate city employees for doing that. I appreciate Everett Glenn, who this is really his project and his idea, and everybody that's helped him. And I appreciate the police department and traffic control. And I hope the public enjoyed it. For this year on those Saturdays, it's over, but the lights are still out there until early next year. So go out there. Even if you missed Christmas in the Park, you can still see Christmas in the Park if you drive out there and look at the pretty lights.
Okay. Let's talk about, we have a Ward 6 commissioner seat vacancy. What are we going to do about that? Let's talk about that.
Well, David Mason, who was the commissioner in Ward 6, resigned at the last meeting, which was last Tuesday, the 15th of December. I appreciate Commissioner Mason's service. I think he was a very good commissioner, and we will all miss him. But he moved. He moved to a different ward, and he didn't expect to sell his house as fast as he did. So when he did, he's obligated to step down, because you can't serve the ward and live in a different ward. So even though the election is in February, normally when a seat is open, we will fill the seat, and we will do that by soliciting applications, and the City Commission will vote on who they appoint. David was actually appointed, I think last year sometime, I believe May of 19 or so, or maybe it was earlier than that. He was appointed to the seat. This one's a little bit different because we're close to the election. It's going to end up being the same, though, because people will apply and somebody will get appointed, but it'll be for a short time. The maximum time would be until the person that wins the election takes office in May.
Correct.
And there's 3 people running for Ward 6. If there was only 1 or 2, it might make the appointment process simpler, because if there was only 1, the commission might just appoint whoever was running. If there was 2, there would be a clear-cut winner in February, and there still may be, but since there's 3, there could be a runoff. So in the end, I believe we did update our press release that if you're planning on applying for Ward 6, please get it turned in by noon, the new deadline, noon on January 4th.
Correct.
That's plenty of time. Today's only December 21st. So turn your paperwork in. You turn that in at City Hall to the city clerk, and we will add all of those applications to the agenda and any new ones we get on January 4th, so that on January 5th at the council meeting, the commissioners can consider those applicants and appoint somebody. If you live in Ward 6 and meet those requirements, I think you have to be 25 and have lived in the ward for 2 years, I think, whatever is on the qualifications for that. Feel free to apply. It doesn't take any other special requirements. It just takes people interested. And the downside is only 1 person can be appointed, and it's for a short term.
Yes.
But it gives you a taste of what it would be like to be a city commissioner.
Yes. Very good.
And I would recommend that everybody that applies show up at the meeting on January 5th so you can address the council. That's always in your favor to be there. And if you can't be there, you should probably let the mayor know so that he would know. The meeting will be at the Stride Bank Center and 6:30. So we look forward to seeing those folks on January the 5th.
Yep. Okay. Very good. Now we know we had the ice storm a few months back. Can you give us an update on what's going on with this storm?
You bet. Late April, we had the ice storm. By November 3rd, on an emergency basis, we had a contractor working to remove limbs from the curbside, from residences and in the right-of-way for people. We did that for about 10 days and got rid of some of the brush piles in the city. But we wanted to make sure that we maximized our chance to get as much reimbursement from FEMA as we could get. So looking through the FEMA regulations, we stopped that first contractor and sent out a competitive sourcing proposal, an RFP, And we had 3 people respond. TFR Enterprises, LLC, was hired to pick up the effort, and they started on December 1st and have been going, well, it's been 3 weeks now, and they have picked up over 4,000 tons of debris since then, and I believe we're very close to having the first round of going around the city complete. I know, I believe Scott, our assistant city manager, is going to give an update on that soon, because we want to make sure people that still have brush piles or have put out more brush, that they call in those brush piles, because we're going to make one more pass and then we're going to be done. We'll transition to our regular solid waste services. And so if you haven't turned in your brush pile and you have one, please go ahead and use C-Click-Fix or call in the number 616-7300, I believe it is, to turn in that debris pile. Also, while our trash truck drivers are running their routes, they will be looking for brush piles and writing those down so that we can address those. We're trying to finish up with the contracted effort as soon as we can, and I think we'll be done with them in early January and probably transition back to our normal solid waste services.
Okay. I'm sure we've gotten a lot of tonnage thus far with the,
Yes.
There's a map there that shows quite a bit of tonnage we've gotten in the since December 1st.
Yes, it's kind of small,
picked up.
so I would not pass the test with my eyes right now, but it's about 4,000, over 4,000 tons. And if you really want to know how big 4,000 tons of debris is, drive out to the landfill and look at the massive pile of brush. We still have a massive pile at 10th Street as well, and we're working on getting a chipper in here to start working on 10th Street and to help out at the landfill.
Okay, very good. Alrighty. Now, this is the part where we talk about our department updates. We have a weekly update of what's going on in our departments. So we look at the stormwater and roadway maintenance, the crews. Here's a picture of the crews cleaning shop as part of the safety checklist. And then, of course, we have other departments that are due much for the city. Stormwater is one of, 30 departments that we have. Parks and Recreation is the next department. You can see a picture of them, the crews disassembling the old bleachers at Kellett Park. Then we have Technical Services, the crews installing a wayfinding kiosk downtown on South Independence Street. Then we have Fleet Management. These crews are doing maintenance on the vehicles in the city's fleet, and we really appreciate them because they work on police cars. It doesn't matter, all of the city's fleets. Solid Waste Service, here's an employee using the new credit card system at the landfill. Prior to us getting this, people weren't able to pay by credit card, but this is a new system. And you can see on the left side there, the landfill, there's just a picture of the landfill during the ice storm. Water production, here's a employee recording some of the data and the testing samples of water. And the pumpage for the week was 58,005,900 gallons. Utility maintenance is the next one. Here you see 3 different pictures. They're replacing a hydrant at 10th and Chestnut. They did a 6-inch main repair on West Palm, and a service line was replaced on Ottawa. So those are those numbers. These are the numbers that we usually publish every week about the COVID, which is the public health, Garfield County numbers, and Enid numbers that we were just showing. Is there any other updates other than those?
I would just say city employees are busy working on infrastructure and services throughout the city. I know something that the parks crew, something they'll be focusing on. Right now they're replacing roofs at Crossland on pavilions. They're also going to be replacing the pavilion roofs at ABC Park in the dugout and the concession area. Those are some things to get that area cleaned up when that bridge opens. I'm sure there'll be some kind of ceremony there coming up from the state to open that up, and we want it looking as good as it can, and we want the park to be in as good a shape as it can be. On street, there's always roadway work going on, filling potholes, and we're also looking at, as soon as we get our emulsion oil here, we're going to be laying down some asphalt on some streets. And so we already have a list of a few streets in town. Some are up in the Fairgrounds area, some are in the Southern Heights area, and there's other areas in town as well, but those will be the first areas we work to lay down some new asphalt. Okay. So As far as COVID, I saw we flashed some COVID numbers. I'm very pleased. I think the commission's very pleased with the efforts of everybody, from city employees to the public, in complying with the mask mandate. I know that it's not popular. I can tell you that I don't like it. People here at the city don't like it, but we're doing our best to comply. And I've seen a lot of compliance throughout town. I don't know that there's a direct correlation with the numbers going down or not, but I know our active numbers have come down since late November, very early December. Unfortunately, our deaths continue to go up, but I'm hopeful with the vaccine. The vaccine is here, and I know that you guys talked about that on the last Garfield County Health Update last week, and it's fantastic that healthcare officials are getting the shots now. So I'm hopeful that in January that we'll be able to move to phase 2. I'll find out more about phase 2 probably today on our regular call with the mayor and the Garfield County health officials and the hospital administrators, and it will be a while probably before everybody before there's enough vaccine for everybody to line up and get the shot, but it's exciting that it's here, and I think that's going to be important for people to get vaccinated to get past this pandemic. So once again, thanks to the people for their efforts. By and large, most people have been compliant, and I understand the ones that are angry and upset. I don't like it either, and I saw an editorial the other day, I think, from somebody who didn't like it at all, but said they would do it, so appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, we appreciate you. Yep. Thank you, Enid, for joining us for another city management update, and we will be back here again next week.
Bye-bye. See you next time. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All right.